Welcome to Crosstalk, the podcast where business stories don't just get told, they come alive. This is your front row seat to the incredible journeys that shape thriving businesses and ministries. Every episode, we sit down with inspiring business owners, ministry leaders, and artists to uncover their beginnings, the story behind their brand, and their vision for the future. It's all about real conversations, genuine insight, and a whole lot of inspiration.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm your host, David, fellow entrepreneur and biggest fan of a good success story. And this week, I have the privilege of sitting down with Nicole and Adam from Everlong Records. And during our time together, they shared so much about their story, how they got started and interested in records, as well as their involvement with the community. So without further ado, I'm going to let them go ahead and take it away.
Hello and welcome to Everlong Records,
where we have new and used vinyl, CDs, movies, and coffee as well.
Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Crosstalk. Today I have the privilege of sitting down with, see, I'm starting off with it, right?
Yeah.
Sitting down with Nicole and Adam from Everlong Records. So what is Everlong Records? Why don't we start there? I think, because you guys have so much you guys have, which is great, and I think...
And a variety of things, yeah. It basically started as a love of physical media. As much as physical media appears to be dying, specifically with movies, as far as big box stores carrying it, we have an issue. There's a lot of people that like to shop at an actual store. They want to actually hold the product. They want to actually own the movie. Unlike streaming, where you're borrowing it, a lot of people don't realize that it's a license, and that movie you buy can be pulled out of your library. So we had that, and then I also started getting into collecting records as well. It's something that I always have been doing, but then I kind of stepped away from it, and then I got back into it. And it was a thing of, well, why don't we open up our own store? I feel the more record and physical media movie stores, the better. Yeah. And then we also decided to add on the coffee portion. To
pull it back a little bit, you started collecting movies since you were like 2.
Not exactly, but yeah.
And like him and his mom, they would go and to the movies, and he's always telling me,
just about every week.
Yeah,
we would go. Yeah.
He's telling me that I went to go see a scary movie when he was like 4, and my mom would not even let me see Power Rangers. So it was just one of those things where me coming in, and I was supporting the multiple boxes of physical media when we moved.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I realized, after a couple of years, I was like, you know what? There is something to this. There is something to actually having that tangible copy of something, and the art that goes into vinyl, the art that goes into the movies, the art that people spend their time on that you don't get when you stream, and then also the amount of money that singers and writers don't get if you do the streaming versus if you come into the store. And one of the things is, I said, well, how do we make it more than just a record store? How do we make it to where everybody kind of comes in here and wants to hang out and build a community? And that's when we said, okay, well, what is the one thing that we both love besides music, besides movies? And that's where we came up with the coffee idea.
Yeah.
And we floated around with, different ideas, and we kept coming back to Buddy Brew. Buddy Brew is a local roaster in Tampa, Florida. that is all about brew good, do good. And their focus is like finding that those beans that are ethically and sustainably sourced. They're, finding the best of the best beans. And what's really cool about it is that we, we'll order it, and within, a day we get it, and it's only a 2-day old roast. Like, it's insanely fresh.
Yeah, it's super fresh coffee. It smells amazing when we get that box in.
Yeah, it's awesome. But one of the things is like, we're roasting right now is a rainforest roast, and part of the proceeds actually go to building back the rainforest and stuff like that. And so that was like one of the main things that we kind of kept coming back to, that we wanted to do everything intentionally, not just, get a random movie in or a random vinyl in, but we're going to take the time to actually look at it, to actually look to see if it's playable, to see if it's something that, is sought after, or if, if it's the 5th copy of Batman Begins, okay, well, that's a lovable movie, so let's keep it, just kind of filing through everything and putting, meaning to everything that we do.
Yeah.
And then so we got into, deciding, okay, well, now we're kept talking about it, and I got done with talking about it. I was like, we're gonna do this. If we fail, we fail. If not, we can't say that we tried unless we tried, type deal. And it was just like, we're just gonna put 2 foot forward and and see where it goes. And that's pretty much what we've done. And so and like with our logo that we have, one of the things that we did is we couldn't figure out what our logo was going to be. And so again, with that community piece, is that we wanted to bring artists in eventually to Everlong. And so we, in the past events, we had an art show, and every now and then we'll have an artist with their stuff up. And so that's where our logo came in. Our logo came in from an actual high school student that we did like this competition with different high schools. We gave them no ideas at all. We just said, kind of run free with it, and we couldn't have got a better logo. Like,
yeah, I mean, we just gave like a general idea of what we were looking for, and what Dan came up with when it created our logo.
Yeah.
It was like we knew it was the one as soon as we saw it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So in there, I was hearing a lot of the community involvement. Now, I know that you're members of the Our Town Foundation, and you also have the partnership with Cookie Break with Jake. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the involvement with the Our Town Foundation? And
so one of the things that we came upon when we decided on Hamburg is that there is actually a lot of local bands that have not been heard, that are from Hamburg, that are awesome.
We could say that they're underrepresented.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And so we were thinking of ideas of like, how do we get them involved? How do we expose Hamburg as an actual music scene, where people can, come and listen to local bands and stuff. So we started to carry local band music. And I actually randomly came across with Cookie Break with Jake. I actually met his mom at a gas station.
okay.
And we started talking, and I said about our business, and she said that her son, is obsessed with cookies, and he wanted to start making his own cookies. And she was saying, that she was going to help him, make a business out of it. And so there for a while before they got a commercial kitchen, we had her and her son here with their cookies. And what's special with Cookie Break with Jake is that it's all about like an inclusion revolution. So he is autistic, and he is driven to make a difference. He wants to be involved in the community. He wants to improve the ability for everyone to understand that anybody.
I'd say like a general perception. He wants to improve that.
Yeah, the general perception of, hey, I can do this as good as, if not better than, someone else. And so what was great about it is now they have a commercial kitchen, and so now we are able to sell in our store freshly baked cookies that are made from Cookie Break with Jake.
Yeah.
And majority of the proceeds goes back to him, and it goes back to the education that him and his mother provides, as well as him being able to continue his business. And so not only does he do the cookies, but he also does educational stuff as well. So talking about like empowerment with disabilities and animals with disabilities and stuff, and doing trainings and stuff like that. So it's all over the place, and I'm really glad that we were able to partner with something like that.
Yeah, that's a great partnership. I remember as soon as I started following you guys on social media and I saw the partnership there, I was like, it blew me away. And they do great marketing, to say.
Yes.
I've watched, I don't know how many of the videos of like him in the kitchen like baking, because it's
he loves doing it.
loves doing it. There's like this little bit of sense of like the humor and how he approaches everything too, and it's just like, being in marketing, I'm like, I couldn't do better myself.
Yeah.
That's how like that's the mark, that's the hit. So that's great. And so you got the Buddy Brew coffee. You also, now this is beginning of August, but you guys have the perks of being a wallflower coffee.
Yes.
And what was the other one that was on the menu?
So there's ABC matcha.
And
ABC matcha.
Furious Bueller.
Yeah, Furious Bueller.
Furious Bueller. I like that. I really like that, honestly. So I was going to say that you guys are adding in your twist on the names of the coffee, which I think is just great. Where did that idea come from for the names of the coffee and the ideas for the drinks?
Me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you come up with the recipes every month. Through a lot of trial and error.
A lot of trial and error.
But I feel like it's getting easier now.
It gets easier. So backtrack to when we decided to partner with Buddy Brew. We actually flew down to Tampa and did like this whole like in-depth course of how to brew their coffee. Wow. And like how to make sure you taste the right notes and how to adjust it and all this other stuff. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And that helped build the foundation of, okay, how do I make this coffee stand out?
Yeah.
And like you said, it was a trial and error, and what better way to name a coffee, than to put music and movies in it. It just kind of fits. Yeah. So I just kind of play around with names, and I'm like, okay, that's good. That's fun. I don't really like that, type deal. And then I'll ask him, and, he always has the final say. So. Yeah.
And what's fun about it too is that, yes, the stuff that we have is limited edition, but that's not to say that it's not coming back later. We like to always reintroduce stuff, which we may be reintroducing one in October.
Oh, you're gonna spoil things already.
I didn't say what it was.
Yeah, we are bringing something back.
But this is a great opportunity to showcase if you want to do a quick little spoiler alert. But
You don't have to. It's okay.
I mean, I'd like to.
Let's just say he always comes back. We'll just say that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just say
Heard it
that.
here first.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just names and going over it and try to think of something like if there is a new release coming out that everybody's hyped about, well, let's try to make something that's based off of that. Like for example,
the Jurassic Spark.
Yeah, Jurassic Spark. Yeah, the new Jurassic movie coming out. We had the Jurassic Spark, and in June we had, even though Prince didn't have, a new vinyl coming out, but his birthday's in June, so we did like
Purple Rain
Refresher. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did something, along those lines. So trying to think of things that, outside of the box taste wise, but also outside of the box of name wise as well.
Yeah.
I mean, plus it keeps it fun.
I was gonna say that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps it fun. It's a little bit of cheese, but it's fun at the same time.
I think the right amount of cheese there. That's great. And with having we talk about the coffee and your partnerships, but I mean, you guys do have a great selection of movies, vinyls, CDs. You've got a whole extra section downstairs.
Yes.
Can really tell that this started for you when you were 2, to say the least. But
I mean, it wasn't quite that young, but yeah, it's like
You remember things going to the movies when you were like 4, which is insane.
I've been collecting stuff for a long time. Been watching a lot of movies and TV shows for a long time. I am, for the most part, a child of the 80s and 90s, so it's like I still kind of live there a little bit.
Yeah.
So
it's okay to reminisce.
Yeah.
And I think everybody loves that about it, because it's like, okay, even my students as a teacher, a lot of my students are coming back to vinyl. They're coming back to cassettes and stuff like that. A lot of the teenagers come in and they look at the CDs and grab cassettes, and it's awesome to see that, because it's like they are now understanding the importance of the tangibleness and being able to own something. And even them who kind of grew up in this, everything's digital, but like, oh, I really like having this and I like having that. And I think that speaks light into being able to have something.
I would say the unique thing about it is that people are realizing, is to touch on what I said before, people are realizing that if they have it on streaming, or if they don't purchase it, if they're just streaming from a service, they're not going to have access to it. That movie or that song you want to watch or listen to is there today. It might not be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Things always change hands. And not only that, there's something about actually listening to I mean, I love listening to CDs, but there's something to listening to a vinyl record. There's definitely something to listening to that, because I feel like it almost forces you to listen to the entire album. And that is one of the things that a lot of artists are getting away from, is releasing albums. They're releasing a whole bunch of singles, and then maybe they'll release it onto an album later. But it kind of takes away the surprise a little bit too, I think, if you hear like 5 or 6 singles before you hear an actual album,
Right. There's like that. There's no longer like that storytelling element that comes with music. That when, I mean, I still consider myself a '90s baby because I was '99, but grew up with very old parents. So for me, it was
gotcha.
I didn't grow up in the 2000s until 2010. Like it was a bit later. But I know for me, it was the Walkman with the CDs and listening to that and being able to, you really get to experience the music, which I don't think really is the thing anymore, because you just put on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever when you're driving down the road, and it's just everybody's singles. And
a lot of times too, and I know that I've gotten lazy with it too. If I don't actually listen to like a physical copy of something, I generally don't know the name of the song. Like if it comes across my phone, because I do use streaming, I mean, it's convenient, right?
Especially at the gym.
Yeah, in the gym or like in the car. It's
a record player in the corner.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That would be
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's
Force everyone to listen to
it's
it.
That would
just
be a funny thing to do for content with social media.
It
Just
would
saying,
be.
just walk into the gym, just put in the record player, just start playing.
We
Working
actually
out.
should do that. That's actually
and
pretty funny
not
idea,
and
yeah.
not tell them that
Yeah.
we're doing it.
Yeah.
Just show up and just set it up and surprise everyone.
One of the things that we put on our website is a blog, and one of the things that actually talks about this is like how vinyl and putting CDs in makes listening intentional. Instead of a passive listen, it really makes it, that sit down, that ritual idea of, okay, sitting down, listening to the music, thinking about the lyrics, understanding it, kind of letting the music help you feel a certain way. And I think that's what's great about music and movies, is that it pulls away from everyday life, and it helps you, feel a certain way. Like if you're in a bad mood, watch comedy, if you want something to actually think, watch a thriller or something along those lines that
For sure.
that puts you in a specific mind.
But yeah, I just feel like a lot of things nowadays are getting lost, but thankfully they're coming back. CD sales have even increased, and a lot of big box stores have gotten rid of CDs, or it's just like a tiny little section.
Yeah.
Well, now that people realize they're no longer around, even though they're still being manufactured, they're they're getting them from, like, say, Amazon, somewhere like that, and of course they're being damaged in shipping.
Right.
They're fragile. So that's where we're trying to step in and make sure that we have a wealth of options available to the customer.
And I think that's what's great about particularly our store, is that we're always bringing in something new, whether it be new or used. And we're always adding something, literally on a daily basis. We're adding something, and there's a lot more planned, especially for downstairs. And we're slowly growing and putting more movies, putting more vinyl out, and
yeah, eventually downstairs we would like to have a pinball machine and possibly
more records down there, more CDs,
more records, more CDs,
more
possibly
books.
possibly an arcade machine as well.
Yeah.
I just think it would be fun. It would kind of add to the little bit of retro vibe that we have going on.
Yeah. And what's like the full plan for downstairs? Is that
so the full plan downstairs is more of a, another spot where people can have that community. So not only do we have, the coffee bar, not only do we have, some seating in like the movie area, but we also have seating downstairs where, people can do board games, people can read a book. I would like to have more seating options down there eventually, just to kind of sit, drink coffee, have a conversation, be on your laptop. Eventually we're going to have, free Wi-Fi, so people can kind of come in and just work on work, if they want something quiet and work on, schoolwork or whatever. And then, like you said, have more books, have more CDs, have more vinyl as well, and have like more of a hangout spot as well, like a pinball machine, and an arcade game or so. And then just kind of, just a mix of different things to kind of, again, bring that community idea.
Just to make it something different too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we want to do is we love what every other place does, but we want to be different. Different in a good way.
Make it unique, That's what's special about every store, is that it's unique in some way, and always trying to make some, something out of nothing, and make our one of our taglines is, you know, having physical media live, you know, and that's one of the things is like, okay, yes, we're doing that, but you know, also how do we bring everything else together? And yeah, through our events, through our
tricky, and it's always changing.
yeah.
That's business, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think I already know the answers to this, but what has the biggest struggle been for you guys since opening?
Hacking physical media. No, just really just getting our word out, like getting our store out.
Word of mouth, but
Yeah.
the nice thing is that been growing month over month.
That's wonderful.
So that is the positive to all that. But yes, it is a little bit of a struggle, mostly because we're not on the main strip in Hamburg. We're probably about a quarter mile up. But we're trying to get that word out there because we want to give people a reason to make that extra little trip.
Yeah. And I want to add in for your sake is you guys have parking.
Like, we do.
We do.
You don't get that in the strip as often. You know,
True.
You don't have to parallel park here. You don't have to do any of that. You know, you get.
Not only that, you may not. And you know what? I'm not going to say it.
Just move on. But no,
I'm just saying it's a little tight as far as driving down there.
That has been something that has been talked about for a very long time.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll show you after this. I have a picture of from Friday, just two tractor trailer trucks on 4th Street, just trying to get around each other.
My word.
Like, and the comicalness of it is like that is literally every single day.
Yeah.
Because they don't like what I guess they don't start looking at the GPS, or they think that it's a bigger. But I don't know why. Just right through town. You can't just keep going on 61 and make the
extra
78 exit. No, they gotta. But anyway,
but yeah, anyway.
I understand it.
Yes,
I understand frustration.
But yes,
so
we have parking.
Trailer trucks at Everlong Records. Old 22's right there, and they've got the parking lot. So
yes.
But that's what makes it great too. Like if you, I think one of the things that that we are introducing, like if if you're on a really big hurry or something, and you can find our menu online on our website and on Google Photos. But even if you're on a hurry, just call us. We'll make something. We'll do a digital payment through our phone and have you on your way. But that's what's really cool about this location is that we have a dedicated parking spot, which makes the purchase of movies and vinyls even more, I guess, relevant and easier for people to do. And yeah, and I think that's what's really cool about finding the location that we did.
Yeah, I agree. As far as the location, it was we were trying to find many different spots. We were trying to find many different spots in many different cities. Mm-hmm. And we found this one here in Hamburg, and we did two walkthroughs.
Yeah, we did 2 walkthroughs, and we did a lot of like kind of sightseeing in Hamburg and looked at other shops and stuff, and we're like, yeah, we really like the area, and we're just like, we knew a lot of people were kind of discouraging us to go to Hamburg just because we're not Cabela's or something like that, but we just fell in love with the area. We said, you know what, we're going to make it a destination. And so, and that kind of coincides with our statement, our love for building the community and driving force of making events not only at Everlong Records but also in the community as well. And one of the big things that we are heading is, you know, a music fest that will be that we are trying to work with the Our Town Foundation and the Hamburg Area Arts Alliance to get, you know, something along those lines, and to get, again, other events that are downtown Hamburg that keeps bringing people into Hamburg.
Right.
And because I think that there's so many good things here that no one knows about.
Agreed.
And and what better way to make it known than to do events that include local businesses, that include you know, local bands, and that include, you know, just the idea of, hey, there's actually really cool things to do, and to Hamburg is a cool place to be at.
Yeah.
Especially if they come up to Everlong Records.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry, I had to drop that. So
I like that.
I thought you were gonna make a song pun or something.
No.
No, it's not like it's the highway to hell to get here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's just,
There you go.
yeah. Oh no, on the side note, understanding your personality and sense of humor a little bit more, I have some fun content ideas that you guys could do after. I want to share with you guys, because I think there's my head was just spinning. I'm like, man, if they would just, like, that would be a great idea. I'm like, oh, that would be good. Yeah, I would do it. So
all right,
awesome.
Getting that personality come out a little bit too.
Okay,
I think that'll be fun. But so having the struggle of being outside of the town, but trying to figure out ways to bridge that gap, that quarter-mile drive, the awful quarter-mile drive that
Living your life
mean,
a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah, quarter-mile distance, but
I mean, bring your family.
Yeah.
It's all about family.
Yeah. And
That's a Fast and Furious reference.
Yeah,
just
I mean, Vin Diesel said it best.
yeah, he did. That's true.
It's family.
I may even be rolling at that clip right here too, as you say that.
All right.
Yeah. We'll spice it up a little bit. So I know another thing from when we met before, it was you guys want to start having things for after school, to be a spot to have kids when they're done with school to come have a place for them to come hang out with. So I know you've already talked about some of the things of what you would want to have, like the pinball machine and things like that.
Yeah.
But, even right now, I mean, you guys have some things that we didn't get to talk about also that they can do. Do you want to share a little bit more about what?
Yeah, sure. So we have board games down there, and, you know, just spots to kind of sit and hang out. And even like places up here, we have seats up here. And then we just recently in August, we had a back to school event. So that involved people coming in and grabbing some school supplies, and looking at different vendors from local area, and the Hawk Mountain people with their birds and stuff, and just a variety of things that are in this area to kind of highlight, but also just things for the kids to do, or stuff. I would eventually like to possibly get into like, you know, Magic the Gathering or D&D or something along those lines. But I haven't got knowledge of that yet, of how to do that. So
I mean, I don't have knowledge of it at all, so it would be a crash course. But
yeah,
then again, it seems like everything's a crash course right now. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys should fly down to Florida to learn how to brew coffee.
For sure.
Yes, that is true.
That's in your house to figure it out.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I know they both asked us, like, do you guys have, you know, barista experience? No, we just love coffee.
We run a record shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, yeah, we drink coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, if you count our home brew machine, you know, and stuff like that, you know, we're our own little baristas. I got my name tag and everything.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah.
We're all baristas at heart if we like coffee. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things when I was in school, and I think we shared it, was the Journey Cafe was like the spot
They would always push kids to keep them out of trouble, I would assume. But
For sure.
going to the Journey Cafe, and they had like the games, they had like quiet rooms, they had like that stuff. And when you shared that to me the first time that I met you, I was like, this is perfect. Because I don't know I know the Journey is like now 3 strands in the back, so I don't know if they still have that front section that is designated for that or not. But just the fact of having a place for the kids to come to, once that catches on, I think that is extremely needed in this town. It was something that was extremely successful for the Journey Cafe when I was in school. There was always 25, 30 kids that would just come. I mean, I think it was open every day of the week. And would just come, hang out. They did, I think, smoothies and milkshakes and stuff like that behind the bar. And it was super successful. So knowing that hasn't really been a thing for a while, and then when you shared that idea, I was like, it hit me with the nostalgia, because I was like, oh, that's great.
Like, it's coming back. Yeah.
Because that was one of those things that was always near and dear to me, because it was something that I would do all the time. I was able to go get work done, get away from home. We're not going to go super personal here, but like, I didn't want to be at home. So like, having that space to be away was great for me. And I know that there's plenty of kids that would be in the same footsteps that I have. So for you guys to be able to have that opportunity for kids, I think is phenomenal and amazing. And I want to thank you guys for that, to create that opportunity for the kids, because that is,
thank you.
That is something that is definitely needed. And if I was in high school, I would love to come. I lived on Franklin Street. I think I shared that. Like I had to walk this way anyway. So
gotcha.
There was never anything. I think it was like an insurance place or something like that when I was in school.
I mean, that could be a cool place to hang out.
You need life insurance, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, just go there and get a quote,
Only if it's Geico and it saved me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15%. 15 minutes or less. But, so I'd be like coming down this way all the time. I was the one that wouldn't mind making the quarter-mile walk. So
awesome.
But yeah, I think it's great that there is a place for, and it's not just kids. Like, it's not just the kids after school, but to even have that as something that you want, because I know that there are some businesses that are like, let's keep the kids away for a little bit, And
for sure, but I feel like the younger generation is one of the things that is keeping things going. Yeah. As far as like with vinyl records,
absolutely.
I feel like, they're probably like, what is this thing? This plastic disc plays music, Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like, they're just probably impressed that they can get music from such a thing.
Yeah.
And plus it's fun now with it now becoming the norm with all the variant colors and alternate covers. Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely, I would say, they're the ones keeping it alive. So, of course, we would want to have them here.
And I think also, too, like, I mean, we have definitely a few that already, started to kind of catch on as far as like, hey, this is a spot that we can, hang out. They come in, I think, every Friday pretty much. They ride their bikes here. They drop their bikes off in front. They hang out for a couple hours downstairs, looking at CDs, playing Connect 4.
Yeah.
And,
I was going to say Connect 4 is pretty popular.
Yeah, Connect 4 down there is always popular. People get loud and very competitive.
It's a very competitive game.
Competitive with that and competitive with Battleship.
Oh, yeah. Battleship down there, too.
Yeah, we've heard lots of yelling down there over, before, it's a hit, and all of a sudden hear them yelling down there. Yeah.
But
just go flying.
Yeah, I mean, like we don't want that. Yeah. We don't want that.
But hey, but no, for real though, they're there for an hour, and sometimes they don't buy stuff, and that's fine with us. Like we just want our spot again to be that spot where people can come and just hang out. And at the end of the day, it's cool to see that, and cool to have a spot, like you said, that is outside of the house, not a dangerous, spot, a place to hang out and just chill and, you know, and be able to hang out with friends. And
that was one of the things that we always envisioned it to be, even when we started talking about it, is that it's more than just sales. It's about connections. In terms of like the high school kids and such, safe place to go, fun place to go.
That's great. And do you want to share a little bit about, I know it's off camera, but you have a big white screen. So there's another aspect of the store that we haven't talked about yet. So do you want to, and the nice chairs too. So
I mean, so we show visual experiences.
Okay.
Those might be, you know, other things that we're doing in the store, or you know, local businesses that that maybe eventually we would like to have, you know, local businesses have their like stuff out, and we can put them through like a slideshow and stuff. I would like to put that out too. Yeah, so we just show different things on there, and people can kind of come and sit down and, you know, watch the slideshow. And
it's cool too if we have events as well.
Yeah.
Such as when we had our paranormal event here in our store. So they were able to use that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they came in and talked about their, like, what was it?
It was dream studies as well as ghost hunting.
Yeah, dream studies and ghost hunting. So they had like their PowerPoints and, you know, stuff, and so they were able to show it
and video
and and yeah. So that spot is, you know, for a variety of different things, whether it's for, you know, events or for just showing, you know, different things that might be happening around the town and stuff like that.
So you've talked about the website a little bit. How can people follow Everlong Records?
Instagram, Facebook. They can also.
We are everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere. I mean, we are on TikTok, but I'm terrible at that. So
I was gonna say but we are on TikTok. But
yeah, I'm gonna improve myself on that.
I was gonna say I understand. I'm on TikTok also, but I just have it as like just the videos just go there and I don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Like I'll check it like once a month. I'm like, oh, cool. So like that was actually viewed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you had 5 views.
Yeah, I mean, like me personally, I don't have a TikTok. So.
Well, the store does. The
store does. Yeah.
But so we can also find us on the website, our website, and then there's also a newsletter that you can sign up for. I send out a newsletter at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on how busy things are with new releases and events that are going on. And like, I'll share, you know, the new coffee that we might be getting in, or the new menu that we might have, or just like, and then I'll have the list of our, you know, events that we're going to be either having or being involved with, because we do vendorships too. Like, we're at the Mahoning a lot, you know, vending there and stuff like that. So we do a lot of vending and stuff like that. So if, you know, if our customers want to see us somewhere else, they can find us at different spots. And so I do like a newsletter on that and stuff. And yeah, so Facebook, Instagram are the top 2,
and occasionally TikTok.
Yeah.
That's what I hear from a lot of like local businesses. It's like, yeah, Facebook, Instagram, website, TikTok.
Yeah.
Cool. And the last question I have for you guys is, when it's all said and done, what do you want the legacy of Everlong Records to be?
I would like to, for one, I'm excited to see the business grow, for one.
Right.
For the other, I would like to hopefully make a difference in the community. I would like to think that our store, our business is capable of that. So I know we're kind of reaching for the stars, and big goals and aspirations, but we would definitely like for that to happen. We want to be here, for the next 30 years, 40 years, maybe someone else takes it over eventually, like when we're old and maybe gone, maybe like hopefully it stays, it keeps going. Maybe if not in this form, but maybe the business would evolve with the times wherever that goes.
It's beyond Everlong Records. It's beyond that. It's actually focusing on, music is forever. Movies are forever. And so, and the thing is that, community, is also forever. And so I think, coming back to, okay, what is beyond Everlong Records? Well, Everlong Records is, I guess the legacy is just overall just focusing on how, like you said, how can we make a difference? How can we how can we shed a light onto Hamburg, PA through, events, through local bands, through whatever, and having that showcased, and just overall, just, beyond, I think our back of our, shirt is passion, memories, community.
I was actually thinking that as far as memories, those are like, at the end of the day, let's go and say 20, 30 years down the road, like the store winds up closing up because we would retire or whatever. I would want to hope that we made a difference to somebody and that they have good memories of the store.
Let's just think of it this way. Every time you buy a record or a movie, 9 times out of 10, you actually remember where you got it, who you got it with, what you might have even talked about. And even for me, who has a terrible memory, I remember my first record and where I got it and when I got it and so forth. And so it's like that is what Everlong Records is all about, is bringing back those memories, bringing back that connection with not only just music, but again, that passion of, we're a community, what does that look like? Because I think a lot of that was lost during, COVID and stuff. And it's not, anybody's fault or whatever, but, we kind of got sidetracked. So now it's like, how do we get, we're getting back to that. And I think ultimately, the legacy comes back to, okay, we remember where we got the record. We remember, I finally found this, Pink Floyd first edition, Dark Side of the Moon at Everlong Records. And I was 23 years old, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I have that memory and I can pass it down to my kids and now they have that experience.
That's generally how I remember things, though, is through like different songs and movies and stuff like that as far as release times and everything. Yeah, she wonders how I remember stuff. That's usually I actually use that as a relation.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's just like that. Yeah, those memories then increase that ability to make a connection with not only the community, but also your family, also your friends, even the random stranger that's also at Everlong Records that same day, and you somehow talk to them about the coffee that you just, tried and that you actually like because you never had lavender before, which, you mentioned earlier. So it's just like those little things that are, bringing it back to what Everlong Records is all about. And I want that to continue on.
Yeah. Now, I don't want you guys to hate me for this next comment, but I don't think that that's a mission impossible. Ironically, that is right over your
your shoulder. And
I love that.
I was waiting for that line.
You're just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike with it. Yeah.
Which brings me to a whole nother thing. This whole time my brain has been going for content that you guys can be creating. So just so you guys know, you're going to get unloaded on. And I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But
we need it because
quirky little things that I think would be great
For sure.
for you guys for social media. But guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's a wrap.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Crosstalk. I hope that today's episode left you feeling inspired and ready to take on your own journey. If you liked today's episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and drop us a like. It helps us reach more people just like you and helps us grow as well. And I'd love to hear what you think. So go ahead and drop a comment down below of what your favorite takeaway was from this week's episode, and let us know who you'd like to see on the podcast next. And you're not going to miss next week's episode, so stay tuned. I promise it's something special for you. So until then, remember that our community thrives when local business succeeds. Until next time.